Well, if you've been following us for a while, you would have seen a boat tour video quite some time ago, a few years ago I think now, and you would know that our engine is underneath the galley. So center of the boat helps keep that weight center and low. On our last boat it was near the stern of the boat under the companionway stairs. You can see there's some panels. This panel comes off on that side right there. This panel comes off. This looks like a double panel. It comes off in one piece. And if we move forward into the salon area, you can see this seat. There's a little bit of a space there, or a gap. That whole section comes off, and the whole wood part removes as well, and we can take that off to access the front of the engine. And here's a look at the engine with the panels off. You can see it's very good access. And I didn't remove the seat area at the front of the engine. There is a issue going on right now with the transmission, so I'll just shine a light down there. It's a little dark on the back end, but we're missing our transmission. It's been completely removed. You can see at the bottom of the screen there's the drive shaft, and between that point right there and the engine, that's where the transmission goes, and the drive plate. So that's out right now, so we're kind of stuck at the dock for now. Hopefully that'll be back soon and we can get back to some winter cruising. Well, we have our transmission back in the boat. You can see where it is right there now, pointing right there. We had to get this piece made up, machined as an extension, because that thing right there is a CV joint, and the CV joint used to be quite a bit longer, but it's a new style. And then it attaches to the shaft, and the shaft is 14 feet long, so it goes through a hub with some bearings halfway down for support, and that's why we need the CV joint, because the engine is on flexible mounts, and without that CV joint there was just too much vibration. That was discovered on the original install in 2011, but unfortunately they don't make the exact same CV joint anymore, so we had to get this other piece made up as an extension. Anyways, we've sea trialed the boat and everything runs great, so time to go cruising. Yeah, they're pretty sizable.
Yeah. There is a view.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're right though, the wind's definitely blowing you off.
Yeah, I thought it would blow me off on this side. That's okay.
4 feet up. 3 feet up the bow. Got the bow line. Got midships.
Prop up, pull me over a little.
Salad meat.
Well, hello from Silva Bay on Gabriel Island. I just got here an hour and a half ago, and I thought I would get out for a little while. It's March 11th. The only challenge along the way, or point of interest I guess you could call it, is Gabriola Passage. So you do have to time that with the current. I was approaching slack. There was still about 1.5 knots of current going with me. When it floods, it goes east out of the Gulf Islands, and on the ebb it goes in to the Gulf Islands. But I think you can get currents of up to 6+ knots in there. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. I did have a little bit of opposing wind going through there, so got a little bit choppy, but all in all, uneventful. There's a couple other YouTubers that are based out of here. Sailor Barry, he's restoring, along with his girlfriend, Haley, they're restoring an older wooden boat. And he actually helped grab lines here when I got here. And then there's another YouTube channel, Finding Simon. He's been fixing up a catamaran for several years, and now he's working on a fairly large sailboat called Perihelion. I actually know the previous owner, Evan, who's part of the Vancouver Rowing Club, and that's where the boat was before. So check out Finding Simon if you haven't checked his channel out either. And hopefully I will meet up with Barry and Simon and Haley tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It's a little blustery out right now and rainy, so I'll probably just hold off on doing any filming until tomorrow. But I'll be here for a couple nights, so a good chance to check out the place. Well, good morning from Silva Bay. It is pretty stormy out there, so I haven't ventured out of the boat yet. I have a friend who's coming down to pick me up, and going to his house to have brunch. Yeah, I'll check in a little bit, and hopefully by then I think the rain will let up, and can show you guys around Silva Bay. Hey, Barry. Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Trying to figure out
This is Barry, everyone. Surprise filming.
Welcome. Oh, it's fine. I film everything too. Welcome. Welcome to Thunderchild. Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel?
Our channel is it's Sailor Barry and Haley, and I'm a shipwright, traditional rigger, and commercially certified commercial sailor in the area for 7 years now. And our show is kind of just Haley and I trying to figure out what the right boat is for us, finally finding the right boat, and getting it ship shape for offshore. Right now we're focusing on getting new sails and restoring the galley, so that's our big focus on the show right now.
Yeah, and Thunderchild is this boat that I just took a photo of? Or?
Yeah, she is a William Atkin Cleone, so a lot of people know the Ingrid. That's the very, very common boat that everyone sees from William Atkin, but William Atkin didn't even like the Ingrid. He was commissioned that boat, but he liked Colin Archer Norwegian rescue boats, and that's what this boat remains a little bit truer to. So this was one of his favorites, but the Ingrid was incredibly popular, and he, despite William Atkin's distaste of it, so he ended up, I've only seen 3 of these pictures only, and Thunderchild is one of them, maybe only 2, so they were very uncommon. But what I really like about it compared to your average Ingrid or whatever is that it's got the tried and true Norwegian bulwarks, that kind of thing, and no side deck. So it's all flush deck, despite I'm redoing the deck, so ignore the quality of it right now. But there's no side deck, so the interior space is absolutely
voluminous.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And we went from having a 1956 wooden sailboat, 41 feet, to then having that and perihelion, which is a Formosa 51. So we've had a pretty large swath of sizes, from half-decked 41-foot boats to this 41-foot boat, which feels very big inside, to then the Formosa that feels palatial inside. And I like big boats, and I like big boat handling. That's where I'm really comfortable. But I don't have the financial means to keep up with a 51-foot boat that needs a ton of work. This is right within the sweet spot for Haley and I to be able to maintain and upgrade. So that was the big choice, and sticking with something smaller. It's not Lynn and Larry small, but it's certainly becoming the new small boat in the cruising world. So yeah, it's kind of the sweet little spot for us. Again, wooden shipwriting is I love doing it. So we're kind of in the torture phase of the project right now, of doing all the sanding on the roof and the deck beams and everything. But the rest of the work, I love doing it. Yeah, I'm really excited to tackle the decks and build a wheelhouse for it. Yeah, we're replanning the rig. We're gonna raise the mizzen boom up about a foot and then gaff it. So whatever sail area we lose, we gain by gaffing. Yeah, and then that opens up the ability to maybe make a full-blown enclosure all the way around the cockpit, because as you
Pacific Northwest.
As you know, yes, it's not great, and I usually have to sit there or here and press autopilot buttons. But she's a sweet boat, 58 horsepower motor. She has problems, but so did my last boat, and this one is far more worthy of my attention in the long run. It's everything I wanted to do to my old boat is done on this traditional rig, block and tackle, 3-strand rope, not a single winch in sight. Yeah,
she's got beautiful lines.
Yeah, that's thanks to Colin Archer. I mean, really, William Atkin just copied Rescue Ship 1, right? The original Norwegian rescue ships from the 1800s. Yeah. So this is, as much as it was designed by Atkin, really it's truly a Colin Archer. Yeah. So.
Can we give the viewers a quick look down below at the project?
Absolutely.
I know I've seen it on your latest video, so I know what it looks like.
Like thoroughly in work mode. So.
But it just it'll then when people go over to your channel, they'll see what they're getting into.
Yeah, you'll see what kind of shit show I'm in for.
Yeah. All right, I'll come aboard then. Yep. Yeah, so you're in the tear apart stage.
Truly, literally everything has been taken apart. Like, we're rethinking this whole settee setup. I accidentally left the hatch open last night, if you can tell.
Oh, yeah, there's a little water.
So we're on our last boat. We did little half couch, like ditched all the upright beams, so you could literally put your arm up on the couch,
Mm.
and it changed the way the settee felt. It felt like a couch. So
Yeah.
we're gonna copy that,
Yeah.
and make this bookshelf back here,
Perfect.
and then this will be open in this zone, and little cupboards here for
Yeah.
stowage. And
Your beams all look great.
thanks. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
that was.
I mean, and like you said, without that side deck, it really extends.
Oh yeah,
The
this does not
interior.
feel like a 36 on deck
Yeah.
boat, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's enormous in here.
Yeah, it's very. And what is the beam on this boat?
Ooh, 11, I think, but it feels like more.
I would have guessed more than 11.
Yeah, it feels like perihelion, which is
Yeah.
14 foot, right?
Yeah.
That was what really sold me on her. The galley and the roof are the biggest jobs so far.
Yeah.
So.
And you were just telling me about the galley. You got this stove that you're trying to just size up how to get it in there and if that's going to be the right one for it.
Yeah.
Sink is going here.
Yeah, big, huge sink, new faucets, finally a plumbing system. We were hand pump only.
Yeah.
So setting all those pumps up and the PEX lines, and
Yeah.
I have hot water on demand in the engine room, so running lines in
perfect.
there and everything.
Your engine room access is back here.
Yeah, right there. Plus
Yeah.
the cockpit sole pops out.
Okay.
And gives you full direct access
Yeah.
there.
Nice. And so what's happening on port here? You mentioned the couch or the settee on the
Settee.
starboard.
So on this side, we have a nice table that goes right in the middle here.
Oh yeah, I see that.
You can see the staple marks everywhere on the
Yeah.
ceiling planks.
Yeah.
And they were all over this, and we're all over this. There was cushions all the way around.
Okay.
Nice table, made for a really nice setup, but once we pulled the cushions off, we realized that was the most beautiful part of the boat. But now that we've started renovating everything, we're like, now that's the most ugly part of the boat. So we're going to replace all those ceiling planks just for aesthetic purposes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's going to remain relatively the same.
Yeah.
Just a little spruced up looking.
Yeah.
And
And then going
then-
forward, I see you got a little wood stove,
Yeah,
which is
wood
great.
stove, that makes all the difference for us. That's
Yeah.
where Haley and I sleep, is up in the V berth. You
Yeah.
can see some of the replaced ceiling planks at one point, and they
Yeah.
look quite nice, so I'm going to kind of copy that mentality.
Yeah.
So we
Head is on port behind you
head's
there.
right here, and
Yeah.
it's a composting toilet, but we're going to go to holding tank and everything.
Mm.
I am used to the process of a holding or of a composting toilet now after a year of using it, but I'd rather have a holding tank and just direct pump out when available, right?
yeah.
It just
Yeah.
tried and true, and
A little more plumbing, a little more space for the holding tank, but they're still good systems. Yeah.
no one likes dumping out a bucket of urine every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to add into your life.
Yeah. Right at this point on the channel, you're DIY primarily right now, obviously.
Yeah.
Refit, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
Refit stage. But you're doing some cruising in the summer. Do you have any long-term plans?
Yes, so the cruising plans are less than what we had last year, because last year we got the boat in September the year prior. So we lived on the boat from September till September. And we spent that time where Haley would take time off of work tattooing, and we'd do like 1 to 2 weeks of every month we were out adventuring. But that kind of scratched the itch for us and educated us on what this boat wants, what she needs, what we want out of her. Because I think if we came in like a wrecking ball right off the bat, we would have made poor choices. So living on her for a year really educated us as what we wanted to do with it, and then what was wrong with her. And so from there, this summer is looking a little less adventurous, but we still do have some big plans. We're gonna go head up to Desolation. We created a group chat, which I'm gonna add you to.
Oh, sure, definitely.
All the YouTube sailors around here.
Yeah.
There's actually so many of them.
Yeah.
And so we're all thinking about doing some sort of a Desolation trip. Take some time off for that. Haley and I do hope to circumnavigate Vancouver Island this year. We're working on getting new sails. I don't want to go offshore with 1971 sails. And I have not inspected the rig, so we're not going till that's done, right? Around here, I don't mind putzing around, but out there,
no,
I'm not.
Different
I'm
animal.
not doing it. Yeah. So we have a pretty long checklist of things we can do before we can do around Vancouver Island. And then if we decide, oh, we're good enough, maintenance is good enough, let's go for an adventure, we'll do it. But otherwise, we're just focused on getting this as perfect as possible while still having bits of fun, but maybe not as much as last year.
And how often are you posting your videos, and what is there a certain day you're posting them?
Fridays at 8 a.m. every single week.
Yeah, and the name of the channel?
Sailor Berry.
Sailor Berry?
Or Perfect. Sailor Berry and Haley. One or the other will find us.
Okay, all right. And I'll put a link in my video in the description.
Yeah, much appreciated.
People can just directly link to it.
Yeah, that's sweet. I appreciate it very much.
Well, and I'm looking forward to getting out and meeting up in an Anchorage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You are the one who goes to all the little anchorages on like Prevo and stuff that I'm always like, oh, or Wallace, because I've done so many charters around them, and I'm just like dropping off 20 guests and then pick them up on the other side of Wallace, and I'm like, that's so beautiful in here. I want to drop anchor here, and I never do. Then your videos are always at every spot. I've been like, I want to stay there.
So we're gonna have you over maybe later for some rum.
I think so. I'm gonna have to go pick Haley up at some point, but
yeah.
Yeah,
Simon's up for it too.
Hell yeah, sounds great. Can't wait.
Okay, talk to you soon, and don't forget to check out Sailor Barry.
Please do.
So, well, here we are with Simon. He's used to a camera in his face.
Hi, yes, my name is Simon from Finding Simon YouTube channel. I've actually been chatting with Alfy here for the better part of 6 or 7 years now.
At least, yeah.
Because I feel like I gave you a shout out at a coon's age ago, just a million years ago. And here we are, finally meeting.
Finally.
Passed through Gabriel how many times? And I'm never here when you're passing through.
Yeah.
So you know when I'm traveling. Anyway, this is my new boat. This is Perihelion. She's a Formosa 51 from 1978. Built in Taiwan, infamous leaky tiki. We bought it for $1 2 years ago, and then I just bought my partners out on it just recently, and now it's all my burden to bear. But it's a big full keel Ketch to cruise the world in, and that's what I'm going to do with it.
And how often do you post videos?
Oh, we're posting videos every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and yeah, we're storing a boat, so it's actually quite a good catch for $1. Her decks are what was really wrong with her, but the engine's good, and the sails are pretty good, and the rig is pretty good, and the mast is pretty good, and
yeah,
it's all pretty good. Pretty good's pretty good, so that should do it for me. I'll at least get out and start sailing, and then I could do all the rest of the boat repair in exotic locations.
Exactly. Well, this is a nice spot to be helming the boat from.
Right, yeah, so this is an interesting setup with this boat. Is she's got a flush deck all around, and doesn't really have much for cabin structure, but I'm 6'6" and I have standing headroom from stem to stern. So that means coming down the companionway, it is like 8 steps from the cockpit into the galley.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're really down in it, but it's quite a stable boat, very heavy, full keel, 55,000 pounds the boat, and it tends to stay upright. Doesn't like to heel over too hard.
I don't think I'll be putting these rails in the water.
I will not be burying the rails. It is a bit like, sailing an office building, but it's quite comfortable as a result.
Yeah.
So yeah, down here you can poke your head in, but I'm not sure how far you really want to get into this.
Well, I'll just I'll come down 3 steps.
Okay, so like I said, I've been attacking the decks, so you can see you've got new beams, scarfs on, and there's chunks where the beams still have to be done, and this is still leaking like crazy, but at least the new beams are in. And like, it's been kind of brutal work, and I've been working through the winter, so it's not been pleasant in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting a lot closer. I've just pulled, I think it was 12 dinghy loads worth of wiring and tubing out of this boat. So all the AC, all the DC, all the subsequent speaker wire, extension cords, and baling twine and everything else that was in this boat has come out of it. All the fuel lines have come out of it. All the plumbing's come out of it. A through hull came out of it while I was in the water, which was not ideal.
I was just telling you about that episode. I was anxious the whole time.
Yeah, so I've started now finally putting in the new stuff. So the new DC's going in right now. I've got the engine room half wired already. Started putting in the freshwater plumbing. It's kind of nice to be building instead of destroying all the time.
Yeah. A lot of room down here.
Just a ton of room. It is a big space. It's crazy being a bilge too. Like, I'm standing in the bilge and it's a big flat open space.
Yeah.
You could tuck a surfboard down here. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And the aft cabin, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's got a big king's aft cabin back there, big captain's quarters.
There's a hallway to get to it.
With a queen size bed in it. So you can see the engine room there on the left. That's where I've been working a lot.
That's like a whole engine room.
Yeah, it's a room proper.
Yeah, that is a proper room.
Yeah.
Oh, a generator.
Yeah, got a generator, got TAMD 40 Volvo inline 6 engine, which runs pretty good, and hopefully won't take up too many more parts because Volvo parts don't come cheap. And
Horsepower?
130.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, she's a big boat.
Yeah. What's
So-
the weight of the boat, do you know?
55,000 pounds.
Okay.
I think 27 tons or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the number. And then aft cabin here right now is playing host to a bunch of cushions. But that is a queen size bed, and I've actually got a bathtub in this thing, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, you were
little
mentioning
bathtub in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Anyway.
And I don't know if the viewers, well, we haven't said it yet, but I believe this is the same boat as Captain Ron.
Yes. So if you've
Yeah.
seen the 90s classic family comedy of Captain Ron,
My favorite comedy.
definitely, if you haven't seen it, you're in for a treat. You should go watch it. It's a lot of fun.
And that'll give people a good idea of what.
Yeah,
this
they
is.
actually used 3 Formosa 51s in the movie. They're a different layout than these.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the interior shots were actually, the engine room shot was just shot in just a wooden,
studio.
No, a giant wooden boat,
Oh,
that
okay.
had no interior. If you look at the shots, it's like literally you see the whole hull of the boat.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing
Yeah.
inside this boat other than the engine, and they filmed those scenes just in that.
Yeah, it's like planked with ribs and stuff in it. And it's
Yeah.
like that's not how the Formosa's filmed.
Also in the movie, the Formosa, like the boat is supposed to be from like the 40s or 30s or something, and wooden, and of course Formosas are fake wooden boats. They're
Yeah.
not actually wood boats.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
so that is
Great.
that's perihelion.
Yeah. And what have we got forward if we?
We got a couple of quarter berths over here. We got this is a settee that folds out to another queen size.
Yeah.
We have another head. We've got plenty of mold on
Can
the
I
door.
step on this?
Yeah, that's a fuel tank. Just don't step on the spigot there.
Yeah. Got it.
And then we have a V berth with quarter berths up here.
Okay.
But again, I'm working in
Yeah.
the water, so I'm just
Yeah.
juggling stuff from one end to the other while I'm installing things. It's an
Yeah.
absolute disaster. I don't think this boat's ever been dirtier than it is right now.
Well, you'll get to be like very soon and get to the rebuilding stage.
The fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
You're
go for,
tearing.
I just need a summer of dry to really do the work
Yeah.
I need.
Well, the Pacific Northwest is great for dry weather, right?
Oh, some sort of creature upstairs causing trouble. Anyway, yeah, cool little galley, washer, dryer. It's kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, geez,
Just
right there.
Just gonna have a dishwasher on board. I mean, she's fully
Yeah.
a house.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I just replumbed all of the fueling, replumbed all of the fresh water, and the electrical starting to go in, and the AC wiring's going in, and
So if we fast forward, project's done
Yeah.
or mostly done. What's the plan?
so yeah, this summer I'd like to get up to Desolation Sound is a big one, and I'd like to circumnavigate Vancouver Island next summer.
Yeah.
And if that goes well, then September 2026 I would sail off to Mexico, and then I got to make the call: turn left or turn right.
That's great.
There's good stuff in either direction, so it's
Yeah.
a tough call to make.
I'm
It's a-
leaning towards
You're thinking right, eh?
west. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Caribbean's fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But all our buddies are already in the Caribbean now, so maybe by the time we make it down, they're gonna all decide to go out in the other direction.
Yeah. Well, thanks for showing us the boat.
Yeah,
and,
thanks for coming out.
Yeah, great to finally meet you.
Great to meet
We
you
enjoyed
too.
a few rums last night.
We're
Maybe we'll do it again.
Maybe
I
we'll do it
already
again.
tried to twist Barry's arm, so
Yeah.
see if he shows up. It was good rum,
Yeah, it's
The-
fantastic.
like
Rum.
Icelandic rum.
Well, who knew?
I gotta convince Haley to make it out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Well, come by for one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Once you got Haley for one, you got her for two. Don't worry.
Yeah. All right. Well, we
That's
got
how
a few.
that goes.
We got a few bottles on the boat.
That's right. That's right.
right.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Well, let's get out of here before
yeah.
we get mold sickness.
All right.
It's gross
Thanks.
in here right
Thanks
now.
for showing us this, Simon.
Yeah.
And check out Simon's channel if you haven't already.
Finding Simon every Friday morning. See
Yeah.
you there.
And I'll have a link in the description, of course.
Roger.
And what are we gonna do now? We're gonna go try and help a guy get off the rocks.
Yeah, let's go drag this guy off the beach.
Yeah. All right. Did you get your camera gear?
I can go grab it.
Oh, I gotta get. Okay. All right. I'll try to get down here without dying.
You made it.
Incredibly stable rib though, eh?
That's great. Yeah. All right.
Right there.
I'll meet you guys over there.